calling the Fever a lost cause is an understatement. Calling this organization a lost cause is an understatement. And I mean this when I say this. Trade Caitlin Clark.
The drama in Indiana has officially gone nuclear. And no, it's not just about the scoreboard anymore. This isn't your typical rough patch. It's a full-on identity crisis wrapped in controversy, and at the center of it all is Caitlin Clark. While fans came to see buzzer beaters and logo threes, what they got was dysfunction, confusion, and a growing suspicion that something's rotten behind the scenes. Heather Rollins, mined the traditional loser, realizes that something's rotten behind the scenes. The tension has reached fever pitch. Pun fully intended. And now, the one player who should be protected at all costs is suddenly at the heart of the storm.
Since this is a lady we're talking about, it looks like Stephanie White has spaded Caitlin Clark, for lack of a better way of putting it. If it was a dude, I'd say neutered, but, you get my point. She has taken away Caitlin Clark's greatest asset, which is the creator and instigator of offense.
Let's not sugarcoat it. The Indiana Fever under Stephanie White are constructing a system that feels like a direct contradiction to everything Caitlin Clark brings to the table. It's not just a mismatch, it's a slow Damascus sabotage. Instead of maximizing her once-in-a-generation talent, they're burying it beneath outdated schemes and baffling rotations. And the fans? They've had enough.
I think the obvious issue is Stephanie White is so stubborn to fit a circle in a square peg instead of utilizing the strengths of the team. And she probably felt relief because Caitlin Clark was hurt that, this is my time. I could introduce the culture and the system. And some actually bought in. And then when Caitlin Clark comes back, she doesn't know how to use her. That's not coaching.
Here's where it gets downright absurd. Caitlin Clark isn't just a good point guard. She's the best in the WNBA. She shattered the single-season assist record with 337 in her rookie year. She dropped 19 dimes in one game, a league record. Her court vision is generational. She creates plays out of thin air. And what does Stephanie White decide to do with that talent? Take the ball out of her hands. That's not strategy. It's sabotage wrapped in a playbook.
In her post-game interview, confirms the team looks the best when the ball is in Caitlin's hands, when she is the main decision maker, and everything revolves around her. Yet for some strange reason in the Valkyries game yesterday, after witnessing that in real time, Stephanie White decides to change things up, slow the things down, take Caitlin out the game, and she complains that the team suddenly loses focus.
If you're enjoying, please leave a like and subscribe our channel. You heard that right. Stephanie White is sidelining one of the most visionary point guards the game has ever seen, sticking Caitlin Clark in the corner like she's a floor spacer, not the engine of the offense. That's not strategy, that's sabotage. You don't ask Mozart to play backup tambourine. White's reasoning? She wants to get Clark off the ball in certain situations. For whose benefit? Because it's definitely not helping Clark, who's built her legacy leading the charge, orchestrating chaos, and torching defenses, not standing around waiting for a pass that never comes.
I'm gonna be honest. I have my doubts. I don't believe in this coach. I'm not even getting my hopes up anymore. At this point, I just want CC to go off. I want Stephanie White fired, gone. I repeat it again. She's a bum to me. I want her out of here. But in order for the Indiana Fever to steal a victory, because it will be a steal at this point, we have to be honest about where we are as a team. Bro, we're below 500. We ain't good. We're not good. In order for the Indiana Fever to have any chance at all of stealing a victory, we need her to show up.
When asked about relinquishing ball handling duties, Clark's response said it all. It'll be nice not to bring it up against pressure 94 feet, but that's what I'm best at, so we're still going to do a lot of that. Translation? I don't love this, but I'll play nice. For now. The message between the lines is loud and clear. She's adapting, not agreeing. And fans? They've had it. Fever Nation lit up social media like a protest rally, calling out Stephanie White's bizarre strategy and demanding to know why their star is being sidelined, literally and figuratively.
All right, Stephanie White puts out a lineup yesterday. Aaron McDonald starting at point. Kelsey Mitchell's at shooting guard. Caitlin Clark's at small forward. And I'm like, what is going on? Are we trying smaller lineups? I guess okay, but are we doing a point forward situation? Is that what we're doing? We're doing a LeBron James point forward. No, the hell we ain't. We ain't. We're just running the same old, I want to say same old offense, but I don't know what that offense is.
One fan summed it up perfectly. It's like having Magic Johnson or Steve Nash and parking them in the corner because your offense can't handle pressure. That quote isn't just frustration, it's a mic drop. And the unrest is spreading fast. This isn't just about bad rotations or slow starts anymore. Fans are starting to question the entire future of Caitlin Clark in Indiana. Hashtags calling for change are trending, petitions are circulating, and Fever loyalists are now asking the unthinkable. Should Clark leave? The sentiment is clear. If the franchise refuses to build around a once-in-a-generation talent, then maybe it's time she takes her brilliance somewhere that actually knows what to do with it.
You are not prioritizing the show. People paid for the show, guys. They paid for the show. That's like Michael Jordan getting hurt, and then you decide to stop doing the triangle offense, and you want to do Princeton offense now. No. Great coaches know how to utilize great players. That's just a fact.
Let's stick to the facts, because the numbers clearly prove Clark belongs at point guard. She led the league in assists with an impressive 8.4 per game during her rookie season. She became the first player in WNBA history to rank in the top 10 in scoring while also leading the league in assists. In her first 2 seasons, she posted 31 games with at least 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, a league record for such a young player. Clark is a true triple threat. She can score in the paint, hit mid-range jumpers, and shoot from beyond the arc. Her range is extraordinary. She regularly makes shots well behind the three-point line. Her passing skills are often compared to legends like Sue Bird and Sabrina Ionescu, showcasing her basketball IQ and playmaking ability. She's the complete package at the point guard position. It's illogical, and fans are understandably losing patience with the approach.
We need the Iowa CC, the real GOAT, the one that changed the game forever. The one that brought millions upon millions of fans to the sport. The reason that people are watching today, period. We need this Caitlin Clark. We need that sicko monster killer on the floor. The one that want to step on your heart while it's on his last beats on the court. We need that killer out there. That's the Caitlin Clark we need. We need the Caitlin Clark that was coached by Lisa Bluter. We need the Caitlin Clark that broke every single record that you could think about breaking. That is who we need to show up today.
Let's be honest about what's really unfolding here. Stephanie White appears determined to impose her own style of basketball on a player who has already proven she can excel at the highest level. White advocates for a slow, methodical approach, limiting possessions, sticking to a rigid system that suppresses creativity and spontaneity. Meanwhile, Clark thrives in chaos. She's at her best when she can accelerate the pace, create opportunities on the fly, and utilize her exceptional court vision to find teammates in tight spots. White's system is almost the opposite of what has made Clark a standout star. The results are telling. One analyst commented that White's basketball philosophy does not suit Caitlin Clark. Another summed it up perfectly. The Fever are approaching a critical decision. Do they want to continue with Stephanie White, or do they want to build their team around Caitlin Clark? The choice will define the future of the franchise.
So Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever fans are having a meltdown about they god Stephanie White that they wanted so bad, man. So I've been seeing the takes, man. So now they want Caitlin Clark to demand a trade, or they want the front office to pick between Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White, man. I'm not gonna say I tried to tell y'all, man, but it's just like, I was trying to tell y'all, man, like, Stephanie White is not this god that y'all was making her out to be, man.
Here's something that should absolutely infuriate every Fever fan. Caitlin Clark is going through the most stressful season of her career, and it's not because of her opponents, it's because of her own coaching staff. Clark has missed 10 games this season due to injuries, a stark contrast to her injury-free high school and college career. She's been battling quad strains and groin injuries, and the physical and mental strains shows. It's been really tough mentally just staying in the game, Clark admitted. It's definitely a challenge, and I think it's harder because I've never experienced this before. Clark thrived under pressure at Iowa, never missing a game and performing at her best when stakes were high. Now she's dealing with injuries and mental struggles. So what has changed? It's the environment around her. When a player is forced to play against their instincts, when a system doesn't play to their strengths and unnecessary stress is added, injuries and mental fatigue are inevitable. The current circumstances are clearly taking a toll on her both physically and mentally.
The only organization that doesn't want to build around Caitlin Clark is the organization she's currently at. You could literally get Phoenix to give you AT, Satu, and wnba back, and they take all your bad contracts to get Caitlin Clark. They'll give you AT and Satu. They'll do everything. They'll give up everything to get Caitlin Clark. But yeah, it is it's one of those.
But the coaching isn't the only issue. The front office decisions have been just as perplexing. Lynn Dunn, the GM who originally drafted Clark, was essentially sidelined and replaced. While Dunn wasn't perfect, she understood Clark's value and potential. The new management team, led by Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox, claims they want to build around Clark, but their actions tell a different story. They hired Stephanie White, fully aware that her coaching style doesn't align with Clark's strengths. Rather than supporting their star player, they're making choices that seem to prioritize their own vision over what's best for Clark. WNBA legend Sue Bird summed it up perfectly. It would really help her if she had teammates who could create shots for her. She has to generate a lot on her own and also create for others. Instead of addressing these real needs, the front office went ahead and hired a coach who wants to take the ball out of Clark's hands even more. It's a clear case of backwards thinking.
Christy, like, I'm not even here to try to defend Christy. Oh, she should have stayed. I'm just trying to emphasize that wasn't the problem all the way, man. The Fever looked better last season, man. They was figuring shit out the second half of the season. They just needed a few more better players on that roster, and I feel like things would have been better, man.
The fan reaction to all of this has been swift and intense. Fever supporters are not just disappointed. They're furious. They're questioning the organization's direction and whether they truly prioritize their superstar. Multiple petitions have emerged, addressing not just minor issues like broadcast audio, but fundamental concerns about how the team is being managed. Fans are openly debating whether Clark should demand a trade or consider leaving once her contract expires. They've already missed the mark by not pursuing a top-tier coach. When your own passionate fan base is urging Clark to leave, it signals a serious problem. These aren't casual or bandwagon fans. They're dedicated Fever supporters who care deeply about Clark's future and the franchise's success. Their frustration underscores a broader sense that the team is failing to create the right environment for their star and are losing the trust of those who want to see the franchise thrive.
Sustain the growth and the interest level in the franchise. I mean, this is about the Indiana Fever. Yes, we have a foundational player in Caitlin Clark and Leah Boston, and we're going to continue to add to that. But I want this team to be the leader in the country, and a brand, an enduring brand, like Apple or something. I mean, we have a real opportunity.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have any opportunity. You have one opportunity. And her first initial is C and her second initial is C. You could replace Caitlin Clark with the second biggest star in the WNBA, which is Angel Reese, and your viewership would tank by 70%.
Let's face some harsh realities that highlight how off course this situation has become. Clark has been struggling with her shooting. She made only 3 of 28 three-pointers in her last 4 games before her recent injury, coinciding with White's coaching changes. Meanwhile, the team's inconsistency persists. Despite having more talent than ever, the Fever continue to falter in basic execution and energy. White has openly stated she wants Clark to play more like her Connecticut Sun teams, slow, deliberate, and controlling. That approach is the complete opposite of what makes Clark effective and unique. Additionally, Clark has rarely faced this level of physical and mental stress, indicating that the mounting pressure and altered playing style are taking a significant toll on her performance and well-being.
The Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston deadly connection, pick and roll, 2-man game connection that has worked this whole season, gone. Poof. The one thing that was in existence that actually worked, that felt like a little bit of something offensive that worked, gone. Gone. Caitlin Clark has a horrible game in her return.
The solution is staring everyone in the face, but the Indiana Fever organization seems too stubborn to see it. They need to fire Stephanie White and find a coach who understands how to maximize Clark's incredible talents. Clark is a point guard. She's the point guard. She needs to have the ball in her hands, running the offense, creating opportunities for her teammates, and showing off the passing skills that made her a generational talent. Any coach who doesn't understand this basic fact shouldn't be coaching at this level. The Fever should be building a fast-paced, high-scoring offense that showcases Clark's abilities. They should be finding players who can run with her, catch her passes, and complement her skills. They should be creating an environment where she can thrive, not one where she's constantly fighting against the system.
Accountable. But what I will say with Stephanie White is just that I hate this offense. I do not like the Indiana Fever's offense this season. It's hard to watch. And I feel like Stephanie White is bringing what she was doing with the Connecticut Sun over here. And it's like that team, the Connecticut Sun, they were slow, wasn't really exciting to watch like that. And it's like that's different personnel that's not going to work with the Indiana Fever. So that's one thing I will say I'm just not digging with Stephanie White is the I hate this offense. It's terrible, man.
Here's a harsh truth that should scare every Fever fan. Caitlin Clark won't stay in this situation forever. She's too talented, too competitive, and too intelligent to spend her prime years in a system that doesn't play to her strengths. Other teams are watching closely. They see how poorly the Fever are managing their once-in-a-generation talent. When Clark's contract allows, numerous franchises will be ready to offer her everything the Fever won't. A chance to play her natural position, a coaching staff that truly understands her game, and an organization that treats her like the superstar she is. The window to fix this is rapidly closing. Every game where Clark is misused, every unnecessary loss, and every injury caused by stress and system conflicts adds to the mounting frustration. If things don't change soon, Clark may decide she's simply had enough and seek a fresh start elsewhere. The clock is ticking, and the stakes have rarely been higher.
I'm a regular dude, and I figured that out. She's a freaking head coach, and she can't figure it out. You got Caitlin Clark breaking 62 records last year, broke the assist record last year, broke the franchise scoring record last year. She broke 62 record, guys. It's not by accident. All of a sudden, she's not having a great season. You think it's because she sucks? Absolutely not. She made first all team last season. So you're telling me she went from first all team to just regular? No, that's on the coach, man.
The Indiana Fever are facing a crisis they've brought upon themselves. They have the best point guard in the WNBA, a once-in-a-generation talent capable of transforming their franchise. And yet, they're squandering her potential. Caitlin Clark is being forced out of her natural position and playing in a system that clashes with her skills and instincts. Stephanie White's coaching philosophy is fundamentally misaligned with Clark's game, and the decisions made by the front office have only deepened the problems rather than solving them. Fans have voiced their concerns loudly, emphasizing that Clark's happiness and development should come first, even if that means she leaves Indiana. The question now is whether the Fever will listen before it's too late. The clock is ticking and the stakes are rising. Something must give, and it must happen soon, because talent like Caitlin Clark's is rare, and if it's not nurtured properly, someone else will step in and take it. If you enjoyed leaving a like and subscribing, more videos are on the screen now.